Hey y'all, it's your Queen J Lotus coming through right quick, right fast with May's major life lessons for Cancer. So it's a lot of crown chakra things going on by the coloration of these cards, but also we get into some sacral and solar plexus things that are going to inevitably and domino effectly heal our root chakra as well as our overall well-being. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into the specificities of these cards. So y'all have the High Priestess, which reaffirms and confirms about the heightening of the crown chakra. So this means that you all's natural, intuitive, and divine gift abilities will be enhancing throughout this month of May, enhancing in more potent, more authentic senses of the terms. And we'll get into what that exactly means when we get into the rest of the cards. To finish up on this card, you all need some yoga in your life, and that is going to be reiterated in some of the other cards as well. But y'all need some yoga in your life, and you also need to make the most of these full moons, all of the astrological happenings that be going on. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to make the most of them and do your manifestive regimens, get into candle work more, get into ritual work more, and that segues us perfectly into the next card. It's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio, which is today. The day that this is being recorded and will be posted. Full moon in Scorpio is happening today, so make the most of this day. So this is like fully reaffirming and confirming everything that I just said, but also adding on disclaimers, okay? It's time to release negativity, so that's not just about the Queen of Swords action that many of you have been having going on, cutting off a lot of people and things and habits that have been no longer serving you. This is also about releasing the urge to cling to revenge or obsessing over vengeful tactics or being worried about other people getting their bad karma and their punishment for the things that they have done, for the things that they have done for you. It's time to release your grasp on that. It's time to release your grasp on dwelling on those types of things and functioning on those types of things. And there are a lot of things that you all have kind of blinded yourself to and are blinded to as it concerns some of the functionalities that you have been indulging in. Some of you may not even realize right now how much of a toxic frequency you actually have been acting in. And I'm not going to tell no lie to you. Don't get me wrong, because I know a lot of Cancers and a lot of y'all are sweet, and Spirit is reaffirming and confirming that as well. But y'all got some ways, child. Y'all got some ways and some ways of thinking that need to be nipped in the bud. And y'all have found ways to justify it and have found ways to blind yourself to it so that you don't have to change. So many of you may have Capricorn in strong places in your chart as well. So you may want to give the Capricorn reading of this form that is on my channel a look-see as well. With that being said, so some of you may also have Scorpio and some strong suits in your chart as well, which could be also contributing to that vengefulness as well. Now, Cancers do have some spiteful streaks too, but I'm just saying for some of you it's more enhanced because of the other spiteful signs in your chart and because of other signs in your chart that resist change galore, honey. Not to mention, I almost forgot, New Moon and Capricorn card. Your hard work is paying off, but that also is reaffirming everything else that I just said on those particular subjects, okay? But to expand on this card, your hard work is paying off. So definitely meditate and work upon your solar plexus chakra, getting your confidence up, getting your hopes up, getting your sense of self up concerning what you do and have been doing and concerning who you are. You need to see yourself in a higher light. And segueing us perfectly into the Sun card that y'all have present here. The way to see yourself in a higher light is going to force you to get more honest about some of your dim lighting. So this month of May, Spirit is going to be taking you all through a lot of experiences that will force you to face your darkest flaws. And these flaws in particular will be making you more aware of how you are in your own way and how you may sometimes or have at times ruined, not completely ruined, but stagnated your own good karma, distorted your own good karma. So for some of you, if you've had a pattern of getting great opportunities, but it seems like it's always something that happens to taint it or get it taken away or get in the way of you fully being able to enjoy and celebrate those accomplishments, things of that nature. That for some of you is tied to you all having done certain things in spite, or meditated upon certain things in spite, or fixated upon certain things in spite, and you put that energy out and it came back to you. So a bit of a tough love message there, and I'm not gonna lie, this month of May is going to be filled with tough love messages for you all, but it's going to be for the betterment of yourself and for the betterment of your relationship with yourself as well, and for the betterment of how you perform and go about things, the manner of how you function as a whole. And I'm not gonna lie, this month is going to be a bit make or break for many of you. Spirit is saying, in a sense, playtime is over. And this doesn't mean that you don't have room to enjoy yourself, you don't have room to indulge in certain things. That's not what that's saying at all. It's not saying that you need to punish yourself for anything. This is just Spirit saying that you are being called, and you have been being called, and you've been procrastinating towards the call. And for some of you, you've been completely resisting and rebelling the divine calling. And Spirit is saying time is almost up. And for many of you, I'm not gonna lie, if y'all don't pull it together and get serious about healing and developing further your relationship with yourself and your relationship with your higher self, your relationship with your spiritual gifts, the relationships that you have with people, the relationship that you have with the universe and with the divine realm, many of you will end up backtracking and doing things that will land you back into a, I'm hearing, 6-year toxic cycle that you've worked so hard to get yourself out of. And that year span can differ for, individuals of you, but for a good amount of the collective, I got 6-year toxic cycle that you all did so well to get yourself out of for the most part. And you all are needing to shed this my way or the highway mindset before you really block your own blessings galore. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, this month is going to be taking you through a lot of experiences, and you're going to be having a lot of conversations and interactions with people. And those people will be telling you things about yourself, some compliments, and much of it will likely be things that you don't want to hear. So I'm telling you that now so that you can make a conscious effort to open your heart. Open your ears, but open your heart and open your eyes to how you can use every bit of information to better yourself. And don't get so wrapped up in your feelings behind it. Definitely acknowledge your feelings and evaluate your feelings, but don't get so consumed and emotionally driven behind what's been said to you and what you're going through, because that's going to backfire on you. You're going to want to embrace what you're going through and embrace what's being said to you, regardless of if you like it or not, regardless of if you like who it's coming from or not, because these are divinely designed circumstances. And so that is another way that Spirit is trying to heighten your spiritual gifts so that your pineal gland can decalcify and so that your intuition and sense of discernment can enhance. And the best way to do that is to get more in tune and more aware and more honest about yourself, because Cancers have a thing of being very externally fixated as a way of avoiding their own feelings and avoiding their own problems. And many unevolved Cancers, or not so evolved Cancers, think that that is processing their emotions, and it's not. It's actually the opposite. You're actually suppressing your emotions, and you're sending your spirit and you're sending your manifestations and your divine realm into a state of stalemate. And this segues us perfectly into you all's final card, the Two of Swords, which represents blocked emotions, blocked mentality, which means limited thinking, limited functioning. So a refusal to face your fears. You're literally holding yourself back from progress. You're holding yourself back from discerning what is for you and what is not, discerning what to do and what not to do, and discerning who you are and what emotions you need to act on and what emotions you don't need to act on and what emotions and energy you need to redirect. And this has caused a lot of you to obsess over spite. It's caused a lot of you to obsess over imagery and the way things look versus the way things actually are. It's caused a lot of you to be filled with anxiety and be off kilter, and that's why your root chakra needs healing, because many of you all have been seeking and functioning in these false senses of confidence and false senses of joy and satisfaction and false senses of love, not realizing the detriment that that's really been doing to you. As opposed to, okay, so it's like many of you have been through a lot, so now you're kind of in this pattern of seeking instant gratification and instant satisfaction. And many things that are instant, just like food, are not good for you in the long run. And it distracts you from the things that actually are good for you. And so this is coming up here. A lot of you need to seek professional help, and it's nothing to be ashamed of, and it's really nothing to be afraid of. Just keep trying. If your first therapist or your first attempt doesn't work, try again. Try someone else. Try a different company. Try a different facility. Try a different method of therapy. But by all means, many of you need to seek professional therapy so that you have an outlet and you have someone that is professional and seasoned and experienced that can assist you with tools. And for many of you, you're going to want to have a quote-unquote traditional therapist and also a holistic therapist. So that will be someone like me. And every holistic therapist like myself is not a tarot reader, or they don't have all of the same methods. So the point of me saying that is to really just try out your options and do your research to find what and who works best for you. And this particular process will also help you through the dating process, as well as how you process all of your different processes. Because going through this type of process and seeking therapy and seeking the type of therapy and the type of therapist that works for you, it teaches you a lot about duality, and it is an act and process of self-love, of you building and developing your self-love and your relationship with yourself. And yes, it is perfectly fine and encouraged to have a, like I said, quote-unquote traditional therapist and a holistic therapist, counselor, practitioner, okay. And child, just to wrap up, okay, one final message came through with that. Y'all's throat chakra. So many of you really need to get some things off your chest, and you need to do it in healthy manners. So through journaling, and like I said, through therapy, talk therapy, getting all of that out. You need to express yourself. You need somebody to really express that out to, and somebody that can in turn give you tools and how to process that and how you can use it. Also, the purpose of y'all, just in case I didn't make it clear before, the purpose of y'all getting more clear about your flaws and getting more clear about the truth of your shadow self, essentially, is for y'all to figure out how to use even your flaws for good. And that's going to be very important to know and have when you are doing your spiritual work. It's specifically rituals, because you don't want to be mindlessly or mindfully surging spiteful energy in your rituals, because that energy will come back to you. Okay? Also, many of you have been neglecting particular talents and gifts that you've been given. So many of you sing. You have a beautiful singing voice. Many of you write. You write music. You write stories. You write books. You write movies, shows, plays, poetry, whatever, what have you. Many of you need to be doing story times. You need to start a story time page, a story time channel. Many of you are comedians, or you use your voice on stage for hosting or for some type of public speaking, or you act. Many of you, or you may be someone who does a bit of what I do. Maybe you do reviews. Maybe you do tarot readings. Maybe you give inspirational words. Maybe many of you have been being called to prophesy Many of you are being called to prophesy. Many of you are being called to preach. Many of you are being called to be tarot readers, to be spiritual workers, and do that using your voice. Many of you have artistic and creative abilities where your spiritual abilities shine through and you're able to give divine messages through your creative works and also create divine happenings through your divine work. So that's why you all will be taken through these specific experiences and given these major life lessons about yourself. Like y'all's major life lessons for the month of May is all about yourself. You're going to be learning all about you, literally all about you, the good and the bad, for the purpose of learning the specificities for your personal individual divine path. So your career, your mate, your, like I said, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your friends, your family, your home life, and many lives beyond this one. Spirit is teaching y'all how to teach yourselves to generate and maintain generational abundance in more ways than one. And so some of you may want to do more research on karma and just what it's about and how it works, and also meditate on your Earth Star chakra. There are some visions, messages, news, honey, things, tea, if you will, to be delivered to you, shown to you, spoken to you. Pay very close attention to the conversations being had throughout this month of May, because some information about the generational karma of your bloodline is to be revealed to you for the sake of you learning how to use it, and for the sake of you learning how to heal it, and for the sake of making things make more sense as it concerns what you've been through in life, how you feel about yourself, you know, where you come from, and also where you going, and specifically what you will be experiencing throughout this month of May and going forth. Okay? It's gonna make a large difference in your life. It's gonna make a large difference in how you see yourself and how you see the world, which, like I've been saying, is going to make a large difference in how you go about things and how you function as a whole, and definitely making a difference in the types of people that you attract and the types of people that you are attracted to, as well as the types of situations, the types of environments and things of that nature that you attract and be attracted to. And with all that being said, child, if I do say so myself, honey, I have milked this cow dry, and I am thoroughly appreciative for the exchange of vibes. And if you're feeling synchronized, please do me a divine design and like, share, and subscribe so that you can be one of the first to be back through these queenly quotas for the next time. And be sure to bless my comment section with your questions and conversations. And as always, I bid you all light, love, healing, and liberation. Emphasis on liberation. Mwah.